What's going on, guys? Nathan here, aka Brilliance. You might be asking yourself, what the heck is this game? This isn't Call of Duty. This is a game called Team Fortress 2, and it is a very fun PC game available on Steam. In the next few minutes, I'd like to tell you guys everything that you'll need to know about playing Team Fortress 2, but before I do, I'd just like to mention that if you guys do enjoy this video, feel free to head on over to my channel, and perhaps subscribe, being I do bring content exactly like this daily, so yeah, there's some cool stuff over there. On to the topic at hand, Team Fortress 2. So, TF2 is a bright, fun, free-to-play game where players play to mostly have fun without getting frustrated or mad. The cartoony graphics add to the game feel and make it so that almost any computer can run the game. There are 9 classes in TF2, each with its own strategic strengths and weaknesses. Each class is armed with a primary weapon, a secondary weapon, and a melee weapon for close quarters encounters. First off, we have the Scout. The Scout is a fast, mobile class that sacrifices power for speed. This is the easy-to-learn, hard-to-master class of the game. Good Scouts can be devastating if they use their speed right and have good aim. The Scout is armed with a scattergun, a pistol, a bat, and has 125 health. Next we have the Soldier. The Soldier is supposed to be the average class in the game with the second to worst rate of speed, but a powerful rocket launcher in hand. The Soldier has, however, developed into a much more dynamic class throughout the lifespan of TF2. The Soldier is actually the most mobile class through the use of rocket jumps, and he's probably the most powerful as a roaming class. However, don't get your hopes up, because he is not that overpowered in the least, and can be combated with the right tactics. The Soldier is armed with a rocket launcher, a shotgun, and a shovel, sporting a much better 200 health. Moving on, we have the Pyro. The Pyro is a close quarters class armed with a flamethrower that has limited range, a shotgun for general purposes, and a combat axe. He, or she, being we don't know the gender of said character, has 175 health. The Pyro is a very simple class and is recommended to start out with. Beware, however, Pyros are also hated by much of the community because they are so easy to use that it takes relatively little skill to excel at the class. New Pyros tend to use the WM1 tactic, which means that they run around whilst holding the left mouse button and spraying people with fire. There are certain strategies to avoid this preconceived notion of being a noob, such as using your secondary and melee often instead of your flamethrower. Pyros are the main counter to spies since they can light them on fire, which makes their cloak useless, and more on that later. After the Pyro comes the Demo Man. This explosive-loving character is equipped with a pipe bomb launcher, a sticky bomb launcher, and a bottle of alcohol just in case he needs to smash someone over the head. The Demo Man also has 175 health. He's very similar to the Soldier in that he can be very powerful, especially against engineers and sentries, more on that later. The Demo Man can also sticky jump, making him more mobile than one might guess, and he can have his own melee playstyle called the Demo Knight. The Demo Man is a very average player with a powerful offensive playstyle and not too many weaknesses that stand out. The Heavy is our next character. He's the opposite of the Scout in that he gains a lot of power at the cost of mobility. He is the slowest moving class in TF2, armed with a huge minigun, a shotgun, and his own fists as melee weapons. The Heavy is the juggernaut on the TF2 team with 300 health, but he also has some outstanding weaknesses. He can be backstabbed easily by spies, more in that class later, and can be headshot extremely easily by snipers, more in that class later as well. The Heavy is equally good at offense and defense and is often accompanied by a medic who can buff him up to 450 health. Next up we have the Engineer. The Engineer is probably the most dynamic class in the game. He is armed with a shotgun, a pistol, and a wrench with a measly 125 health. However, the most powerful part of an Engineer is his ability to construct and upgrade buildings. Each building can be upgraded 2 times for a more powerful version. He can build a sentry, a dispenser, and teleporters for troop advancement. His sentry is most commonly used for area control since it represents a formidable defense not to be challenged by any one player alone. Sentries can be combated by the use of a medic's Uber, more on that later, and can be more easily taken down by an enemy Demo Man. Spies are the Engineer's nemesis since they can sap his buildings, which, without his immediate attention, will be destroyed. The Engineer can build dispensers as a portable health and ammo station, and they also generate metal that he can use. Metal is the currency used by the Engineer when constructing. A level 1 sentry, for example, costs 130 metal out of his 200 capacity. Buildings can be upgraded by hitting them with the Engineer's wrench and cost 200 metal per upgrade. The Engineer is definitely a fun class to play and is one of the most helpful for the team. Next up we have the Medic. Medics are extremely important to teams in Team Fortress 2. Medics are armed with a syringe gun, a medigun, a bone saw, and a decent 150 health. Medics can heal players and buff them to 150% of their base health, and they also have the ability to Uber. Uber is a period where the targeted teammate becomes invulnerable for 10 seconds, allowing them to wreck the enemy team and effectively take out sentries. As mentioned before, medics are extremely helpful to the team. If a team does not have at least one medic, it will probably lose. Medics can be countered by being backstabbed by spies and are also often headshot by enemy snipers. The medic has the second fastest move speed in the game, but this is typically irrelevant because the enemy usually targets them first, just like they should. Second to last here we have the sniper. He is the long-range class of the game, armed with his sniper rifle, a submachine gun for personal defense, a machete for close quarters encounters, and a base 125 health. The sniper can headshot classes for extra damage and a one-shot kill. When scoped in, the sniper does not immediately have the ability to one-shot enemies. Rather, he has a charge meter in his scope. The longer he stays scoped in, the more powerful a shot he can execute. Snipers are often backstabbed by spies due to their tendency to always be scoped in and not see them coming. They are very effective when a team needs to consistently kill enemies with lots of health and can be devastating with the proper aim. However, having a lot of snipers on a team is very much frowned upon, since most of the time they really just don't do anything. This class is typically very all or nothing in helpfulness to the team. Good snipers can eliminate an entire team, and bad snipers can, well, be a waste of a player slot. Last but certainly not least, we have the Spy. The Spy is very dynamic because he features a very unusual playstyle. He is armed with a revolver for personal defense, a sapper for sapping engineer buildings, a knife for backstabbing, a disguise kit, and 125 health. The Spy can turn invisible by using his cloak for a limited amount of time, and also disguise as enemy players. Players can tell if a teammate is a spy by colliding with them. You can ordinarily run through your teammates. Spies can backstab enemies for a one-hit kill, but only in the back. The Spy is a great stealth class and can wreck a team, but can also be combated easily. Pyros can light spies on fire, and teams usually spy check a suspicious-looking teammate. Spy checking is when a player fires upon a teammate to see if they are a spy. Normal teammates will be unaffected, but spies will take damage and, most of the time, will be killed. Typically, the rule of thumb for spies is you are only as good as the other team is bad, since if a team takes the proper measures and remains vigilant, will render spies ineffective. And those are the basics of all 9 classes in Team Fortress 2 and how they kind of balance each other. In summary, Team Fortress 2 in itself is a fantastic, extremely balanced game featuring more than 100 weapons that are, for the most part, fair and balanced. Unlike the stereotypes surrounding it, Team Fortress 2 is not a hat stimulator, but it does feature a fantastic trading market community currently worth more than $22 million in real-world money. For new players, it will take some time to acquire all of the weapons in the game, but because there are so many, TF2 has almost infinite replayability. I would highly suggest you guys download this game off of Steam since it's free to play. Like I mentioned before, most computers can run it since it's not visually intensive, and I guarantee you will have a blast playing it. Also guys, if you did enjoy the video, please leave a rating on it. I'm sure it will help out Yeousch. And if you did not know, this is my first upload or submission to Yeousch Reloaded, so I'm not entirely sure how this video will be received in terms of reaction to the subscribers or view count. But yeah, if you did enjoy it, feel free to head on over to my channel and subscribe because I do bring content exactly like this. And yeah, that's the end of the video guys. Thank you all for watching, and peace out.